The number one mistake to fasting for fat loss is what you eat when you break your fast. You have two directions that you can go. One direction is that you can continue to burn more body fat, or the second direction is that you will bring your fast fat loss to a screeching halt. So don't make this mistake of thinking you can eat whatever you want now that you've built up hardcore discipline to not eat anything for a long period of time. Depending on the types of food you choose to eat, you could easily regain all the weight you lost. You definitely don't want to ruin all your hard effort, especially if your goal is to continue your fat loss diet plan. So what do you eat after a long fast? In this video, I'll go over 3 keys to successfully breaking your fast. 1. The worst foods to eat. 2. The best foods to eat. 3. How to maintain or continue your weight loss. And you'll definitely want to watch until the end because number 3 relates to a huge mistake I've seen with avid fasters. Some people are really disciplined at sticking to their fast, but struggle the most with overeating after their fast and gaining the weight back. I'll show you how you can easily maintain or continue your weight loss after a long fast so you can achieve your best body in no time. Let's dig in. Number 1, the worst foods to eat after a long fast. Here's the most important thing you need to know first. After you've been fasting for 24 hours, 48 hours, or even longer, your body becomes much more insulin sensitive. What does that mean? Basically, your body is going to soak up glucose from the food you eat really fast. Now, insulin could be a good thing because it will store some of the glucose in your muscles. But the bad part is that it also stores the glucose in your fat cells. Also, with increased insulin sensitivity, there's also an increase in a hormone called adiponectin. When we have an increase in adiponectin, it means that a fat cell will soak up even more glucose than it usually does. On top of that, when you have an increase in insulin, that means you have a decrease in the fat burning effect in the body. Basically, there are 2 unfortunate things that occur after a long fast due to insulin sensitivity. 1, fat cells are much more sensitive to increasing. 2, in the presence of insulin, your body's fat burning process is turned off. So what are the worst foods that you can eat after a long fast? Foods that will trigger a high insulin spike, also known as high glycemic foods. If you want to continue your fat loss efforts, you'll want to avoid these foods when you break your fast, especially if you want to lessen the effects of gaining body fat back. Sugar, soda and sugary drinks, simple carbs like white bread, pasta, white rice, pizza, cereal, chips, anything made with white flour like muffins, pastries, cake, cookies, crackers, and even some quote-unquote healthy foods like potato, high glycemic fruit like watermelon. Yes, watermelon is very high in sugar. Banana, mango, papaya, pineapples, and dried fruit. Think high carb equals fat storage. And no more fat burning for a while. Now don't go cry if you love carbs. I definitely do as well. I'm going to show you in the last section of this video how you can incorporate your favorite carbs and not allow it to ruin your weight loss progress. Let's face it, we all deserve a slice of cake here and there. Let's dig right into number 2, the best foods to eat after a long fast. Well, obviously now that we know you don't want to spike your insulin, the best foods to keep your blood sugar low is protein and fat. Also, incorporating foods that have fiber and are low carb is also important because the fiber plus protein plus fat combination is going to be the best to not only keep your blood sugar level low, but it will also keep you fuller for longer. But before you dig into your meal to break your fast, I highly recommend these 2 foods at least 30 to 60 minutes before you eat your meal. They are 1, a fermented food, 2, bone broth. Here's why. Having a fermented food will help activate enzymes and bacteria in your gut so that digesting food will be a bit easier on your body. If you don't have any fermented food, you could run the risk of some bad stomach issues or the runs. What kind of fermented foods are best? You can either put a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in a cup of water and drink that, have kombucha tea, or any type of fermented vegetable like sauerkraut or kimchi. But go easy, just a little bit, because your body hasn't had any food in its system for a while, so you have to introduce these foods slowly. I also recommend a cup of bone broth because it's got natural electrolytes in it, which will help replace the electrolytes you've lost during your fast, as well as natural collagen to help coat the lining of your digestive system. Then after those 2 steps, you're ready for your combination meal of fiber, protein, and fat. What does this type of meal look like? An example would be eggs and stir-fried vegetables. Egg whites are full of protein, egg yolks have super healthy fats and are loaded of other minerals and vitamins your body will thrive on. And the vegetables will provide fiber. Another example would be chicken, avocado, and salad. The chicken is full of protein, avocado is a healthy fat, and the salad provides fiber. Keep your meals small and chew slowly to prevent any digestive issues. Now let's move on to number 3, which is how to maintain your weight loss after a fast. If you've been weighing yourself during your fast, you probably noticed the number on the scale drop really fast, which is exciting. However, most of that weight loss is water weight. Some of it is definitely fat loss, but most of it could be water weight. So as soon as you break your fast, your body is going to soak up your meal, which also means the scale might go up the next day. How do you prevent this from happening so that you can either maintain or continue weight loss? Well, this comes down to good old-fashioned self-discipline. If you don't trust your discipline with eating after a fast, get yourself an accountability coach to help you along your journey. And if you're not familiar with my channel yet, I happen to be an accountability coach for fasting and weight loss, so I can help you out. Link for my coaching program is in my About section. Now, if you want to do this on your own, you have to make sure that you stick to your plan. I'm going to be totally honest, it's going to be really tough because after a long fast, a hormone called ghrelin also increases. Ghrelin is known as the hunger hormone. When your body detects that it hasn't been getting enough food, ghrelin is there to make you want food. So be cautious when eating after a fast. Eat a small meal on the first day of breaking your fast and keep it low carb. Gradually over your time, you can start to incorporate some carbs or other of your favorite foods, but keep them small and definitely eat fiber, protein, and fat combination meals first. Eating your healthy meal first will help prevent a spike in your blood sugar, therefore keeping you full longer, and that way you can continue to fast or in general just not be as hungry so you can achieve your goal weight in no time. So there's the secret to preventing the #1 fasting mistake for weight loss. You have to be on point with what you eat at the end of your fast and know exactly what foods and combination of foods are best for your continued success with fat loss. Want even more fast weight loss secrets? Check out my next video. See you in the next one.